Hey everybody, we are at the SAFEX at the Convention Center in Stanton, and we are sitting with Jarryd, who is one of the directors of Nexus. Thank you, Jarryd, for sitting with us and having a little chat about what it is you do, and a little bit of, give us a little bit of a breakdown of why it's so important to test.
Sure, no problem. So at Nexus Diagnostics, we're a primarily plant pathology lab with visions of branching out into further pathology. But cannabis is quite an interesting plant just because of its high crop value and the viruses and pathogens that can infect it. So at Nexus, we specialize in qPCR technology. Everything we do is automated. We use really expensive liquid handling robots. We have a really small team, so we're able to keep cross-contamination risks low because there's not many hands on the product. And we specialize in pathogen detection, new virus detection. We can pick up variants of viruses. We've got the most scientifically advanced next generation sequencing on site. So we've got a GridION from ONT, which does long read DNA analysis. We've got the Illumina NextSeq 2000, which does an amazing short read, but a lot of depth. So you can fully sequence a genome. We have a PacBio Vega, which we're going to see tomorrow, and determine if we want to have that in part of our tech stack. But effectively, we've optimized our workflow to take any plant samples from any crop and test them for any known viruses, and even find viruses that aren't known.
Wow,
so,
that is amazing. If you are looking to get any of your plants tested, check out Nexus. They really are amazing. It's all that Ilco uses. They are incredibly professional, and you get your results in a decent amount of time. And they also advise you in all the right areas that you're looking for. And tell me, Jarryd, what do you love about testing? What is your passion?
So the thing that sets us apart is we don't want to be like every other testing lab. A lot of labs will offer a single virus test or a single fungal test, but it doesn't give you enough of a picture of the health of the plant. And at the end of the day, if your mother plants in cannabis are infected, whatever clone you cut is going to have that infection, which is going to run the risk of crop failure, drop in cannabinoid count, drop in yield. So from our side, it's really working with the cultivators to understand their pain and give them the data that they can use to make better decisions. If you know that, and we know from the data we've done with all the clients we have, that a co-infection is way worse than a single infection. So if a plant has a single virus and you're just testing for that because you're scared of that,
you're not going to see the
others.
others.
Not going to see the others. They're not in the panel, where we've broken things down into a full panel where we test for 12 viruses in one single test. So you submit one plant sample in a sample tube that looks like this. We do things differently. No longer do you take a polystyrene box, fill it with dry ice, take some leaves and send it to a lab and hope it gets there. Our plant material and DNA and RNA will stay stable in this at room temperature for months. So you can literally take samples, leave it on your shelf, and 2 weeks later send it to us and we'll still extract usable RNA and DNA. And then we've realized that after every single panel we run for a client, we set up a call afterwards just to go through the results. You don't get that from Pathcare. They don't call you and say, listen, these are the results. Your doctor phones you. So we act as the plant doctor, phone the client, explain the results, and we try and ascertain more information. Why is it like this? Do you see symptoms that we're not seeing? Okay, yes, you do. This tested negative, let's sequence it. So then we validate our own designs and assays. We validate if there is something wrong. We can detect new pathogens. So we work really closely with our cultivators to understand their growing environment, how we can better give them more information to make better decisions. And it all starts with testing your plants.
Absolutely.
You don't know what you don't know. We're busy building for specifically cannabis, a marker-assisted breeding program.
Wow.
Where my partner Michael, the geneticist, is developing 40 genetic markers of interest in cannabis. Things like a cannabis genetic marker of powdery mildew resistance, a cannabis marker that tells you if it's a male or female, a cannabis marker that tells you if it's THC or CBD. This way we'll build 20. We work with the industry to find out what is the most 20 valuable genetic traits you want, so that clients can actually get a view on their cannabis plant genetically and see, is it worthwhile growing this plant out to flower, or is it worthwhile at youngling age to get rid of it?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and are your mothers of this, do you want to breed the one plant with the other plant that has different genes, so hopefully they can express differently and you can get a better strain?
So you're actually helping, what Nexus also does is obviously helps you shorten that period where you don't have to go through the long process of finding out the data yourself. They can actually break it down for you, give it to you, and you can use that data to benefit your grow and your breeding as well, which is amazing. You guys are doing an amazing job.
Yeah, we try. We have a passion for doing cool new things. So it costs an arm and a leg for all this equipment, but it's really cool and fun. And it doesn't. The beauty of what we're developing is we're developing this software as a service, pathology as a service platform for any crop type, any environment, whether it's an environmental test, we can test water, soil. We don't have to just test the plant. We can test.
Do water, soil as well.
We can do water and soil.
That's awesome.
We can branch out later into human diagnostics. We can do longevity studies. We can do DNA research from universities that send us genomes that they want to sequence. So the platform started in cannabis, but it's broad. It literally is a full biotech scaled company that we're building out here. Cannabis has been great to us, and that's why we're here and we love it. But our goals and aspirations go beyond cannabis.
Yeah, you mentioned 3 really cool things there. You can find out if it's a male or female, which is great, and then that's going to cut down your growing time and your space, because we all know what happens when you're breeding and you want to look for a nice male or female. Instead of waiting until it shows those little sexes, they can actually give it to you immediately. That's really amazing. And then you said CBN and the
CBD and
CBD
THC.
and THC. You can actually decipher those two.
We actually want to get to a point where we can tell you if it's a high, mid, or low THC yielding plant.
What? That's amazing.
That's our goal. There's not one gene that makes THC and the percentage of THC. So it's Michael's job to find all those different genes that come together to make a THC plant high, mid, or low.
That is so freaking amazing. Now tell me, do you have a Instagram or Facebook or WhatsApp
We have
or YouTube?
a LinkedIn, which we can definitely share, but we're not as public with cannabis as we would love to be on social media. But we're definitely growing that, and we're building out our tests are done in such a way that they can be shipped internationally. So if you're bringing in genetics or you're bringing in plant material from,
we can send the tests.
We send the tubes to them. They take the sample, send it back to us. We test them. We give you the results and the other provider the results. Then you can determine if you're bringing in clean material or not before it even touches the border of South Africa.
That's a big one, because HLVD is spreading so fast in these farms today. So if you're not getting your plants tested and you're bringing in new genetics and you're not getting them tested, you may sit with quite a big problem at a later stage, and you may have to cull your entire crop. So try and avoid it. Jarryd, thank you so much.
No
and
problem.
tell me one more thing.
Sure.
What is the most surprising thing you've ever found, like in everything you've done? What is the most surprising that just blew your mind?
Just the size of a viroid.
What?
It sounds silly, but it's so transmissible that if you walk past a plant with HLVD and you brush up against the leaves and you walk to the next plant and that plant brushes up against on your shirt, the viroid is so small it will attach to your shirt and then go into the plant, into the next plant.
So that just brings us to this point. HLV can be spread in how many ways?
The way it's mostly spread is vectors, the aphids and bugs and things like that.
And not cleaning your scissors?
Not cleaning things, cross-contamination. But another one is just humans moving things around in a production facility. Phytosanitary practices have to be like next level to make sure you control the risk of it.
That is scary. Yeah. That is scary. Well, thank goodness for Nexus, huh?
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and we hope to see more of you. And Michael, he's not here right now. He's actually behind the camera. But he's also this great team, and they really are very helpful. So please don't be afraid to reach out, ask the questions that you need, send your plants in for testing, eliminate the risks, and let's just happy growing, man.
Yeah.
Happy growing. All the best. Thanks again.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
You too. All the
Thank
best.
you.